Hello and welcome to
Hey, we like your pod.
And we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here, and I'm joined, as always, by my trusted partner, Matt Pickett. How you doing, Matt? And our very special guest, Zach Jacobson. Nice to see you again, Zach.
Nice to see you guys as well. I appreciate you having me on for a second time.
It's
So exciting.
fantastic.
So glad to have you here, man. This is great.
We're so glad to see you. I was like, okay, so inside joke here for those who are listening. Should we confess, Matt?
Yeah.
So I was thinking we had Zach on tonight for the first time, but
Me too.
Matt too.
But Zach is certain. He's certain that he is here. And I believe you, man. I absolutely believe you.
Matt says he's been on our show before, and I was like, he looks really familiar.
I swear, I swear by it. I think it was either a year ago or 2 years ago. But that's why when Matt messaged me for the first time about coming on the show, and he's like, he sounded like it was going to be for the first time, and I was like, huh, maybe he forgot. So I just kind of played along with it.
Goodness gracious. Well, I'm getting old, apparently, I guess.
Hey, me too.
My old age. I'm turning 47 in a couple weeks, actually. So that is kind of old, I guess.
4'7"?
4'7". The
4'7".
big 4'7". Yeah.
Please,
big
don't rub it
4'7".
in. Yeah, she said it 3 times. She's really rubbing it in. Hey, by the way, you're turning 47.
Usually in this show, at some point, Dawn always like makes some reference to her age. So I guess I'm just getting on that one now too, as well.
I know.
So.
Even playing field, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah, no. I'm still the elder. I'll always be your elder.
That's true. That's how that works.
Yeah.
And speaking of an even playing field, the Thursday night football game tonight is pretty interesting. We just got through the first half. I happen to be wearing Rams colors, which I guess makes sense because I'm actually cheering for them tonight. Anybody who's facing the Vikings, I'll be on their side. But yeah, you guys were watching the game a little bit, right?
For sure. I've been watching it with great interest. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I got home about an hour ago. Had to get some things done for the show, so I was kind of watching it, kind of bouncing back and forth here and there. I saw the Cooper Cup touchdown, which is good for my fantasy team. I'll take that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of like it's like bittersweet for me because I have Cooper Cup in one league and in another league I have Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. So I'm like, I want the Vikings to lose. I need my guys to play well. I don't know. It's very conflicting.
Yeah, that would be.
I guess this is my first year doing fantasy stuff at all for football. Some people talked me into it, and it does make it really complicated to watch some games. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't think
absolutely.
I'll ever do that. I like to watch. It's complicated enough for me to watch multiple.
No, if you can stay away from fantasy football, and that was what I tried to do for so long because I felt like it would kind of ruin the product for me. Like I would be paying attention more so to like individual performances than actually enjoying the game. So yeah, stay away, Dawn. Don't do it.
Okay. All right. I will. You've talked me into it. I don't think I really would ever really do it anyway. Like that just doesn't seem like something I can do. I'm so short of time. I have so many projects all the time. And if I put on one more thing to do, I think I'll lose my mind. I really do. I'm always like juggling I like it that way, but yeah, sometimes, it's like, okay, I took on too much this time. And then it takes me like 6 to 8 months to get myself all straightened out again. Because I do fulfill my commitments. So if I get into something, it's like, okay, I'm going to finish this for sure. I'm not going to abandon it. So
I think that's
a good trait.
That's wise, Dawn, because I was like, oh, how much time could this possibly take up? Like update my roster or whatever, like, put some stuff in a couple minutes a week. No.
Is it long? Oh, okay.
You get sucked in really fast to oh God, I need to like I lost last week. I haven't won yet. So that's part of it. Like, I was like, check the waiver wire, see what's happening out there. Oh my goodness, what can I do to kind of win a game? It's been ridiculous. It's been bad luck. And so that's the thing I've realized, like so much of it is just like crazy luck on who you happen to start or sit. And I had the number one pick in the draft. So I picked up Christian McCaffrey. I was all excited about that. And then
yeah.
Just
ouch.
Stinky.
I have him. I'm in a dynasty league, and I made a big trade for him in the off season. Like I traded a bunch to get him, and he's been hurt. So
wow.
He's been hurt.
Well, Janelle. Hey, Janelle, it's nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us, Janelle.
She told me she was going to be watching tonight. She fulfilled her promise.
Nice.
Yeah,
and we'll get Janelle on the show sometime soon. In fact,
we'd love to have you, Janelle Mac. Jen Mac.
So. You guys should. She's great. She's
really great. Absolutely.
By the way, Jen Mac, if you're listening to this, we were just talking about cats before the show started, but both I got a double set of those stove burner covers, those kid covers, so that they can't turn the burners because of your story about your cats. That was so terrifying. I got a set for myself and for Jamie Cheesebutt. And every time I use them, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I got these. I don't know that Tosh is that smart. I mean, cats are really smart. Have you ever seen those videos? I saw a compilation today of how smart cats are, and they're doing all the things like unlocking locked doors and latches and like complicated ones, not just, I don't know if my cat's that smart, but they can be dangerous.
I mean, that's what they're called, cat burglars, because it takes a certain amount of intelligence for a burglar to even emulate a cat. That's what it is, obviously. So
it sounds good enough to me. I believe it. Yeah.
You
swayed me.
Yeah, it is weird how quiet they are, because like I'll be doing something around here, and then all of a sudden my cat's like sitting there looking straight at me, and it's like, where did you come from? It's kind of creepy. It's like,
yeah,
whoa.
And like I told you, I have a black cat, so it's like 10 times creepier when she just kind of appears out of nowhere in like pitch black. It's like, what the hell? Get away from me.
What are you trying to do? And whoops, oh sorry, Tosh is smart enough. This is from Iowa Joe. Tosh is smart enough. She continuously tries to come up with ways to bump Dawn off.
Yeah, that's true. That's a running joke, Zach. That like pretty sure Dawn's cat is trying to kill her. That's happening. So Dawn denies it. Dawn is gaslit by the cat.
Very, very. She puts up with a lot from me, really, for a cat. Like things that a lot of cats would never put up with. I'm like, she could scratch and bite me for this, but she doesn't. The last time she did anything to me that made me go to the hospital was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that this is never going to happen again. And in her defense, I was trying to give her a bath. It was an emergency bath, and cats don't like baths. So
that kind of explains everything right there.
Yeah, totally.
She didn't just like randomly attack me like Joe thinks she's doing it. Not gonna happen. All righty, well, let's get on with this great interview. Okay, so it's been a while. So we'd like to do our interview with you, and we like to base our interview with you on your Twitter. So for those who don't know Zach, your Twitter reads Zachary. Okay, and by the way, you have this cool little see more section that I've never seen on Twitter before in your about.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing that you can like accessorize or edit until like a couple months ago. So I was like, oh, cool. So I just kind of added that in.
I love that.
Actually, I didn't know.
So I'm going to read from that first. So in case you haven't clicked his see more, or if you'd like to in the future, Zachary Jacobson covers the Green Bay Packers for PackerReport.com, a member of the Pro Football Writers of America. He has covered the Packers since 2015. Jacobson is currently in his 6th season with Packer Report, a 24/7 sports channel where he serves as editor-in-chief. Woo! Okay. He previously spent 3 years with CheeseheadTV. I did not know that. And recently contributed for Heavy.com. What did you do with Heavy?
That was like a 3-month contract that I did from, I believe it was September to November or early December of last year, and just kind of feeling out the waters a little bit. It was an opportunity that presented itself to me, and I kind of just wanted to just check it out. So I went for it, 3-month contract, and it was a good opportunity. But I kind of purely dedicate my my allegiance to Packer Report, really, and just keep my focus there.
Did you write sport NFL stuff for them or something
Packers.
else? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there. I was one of their 3 Packers writers.
Oh, nice. All right. So the regular Twitter part reads Zachary Jacobson at Jacobson. So Jacobson, which I love. I don't remember that. Like everything's new to me. So
I changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Before
I clearly would remember.
Yeah, before it's Zachary J or Zachariah J. I don't remember, but it was something like that.
I remember it's Zachariah. I remember that. Okay, so Jacobson, senior writer covering the Packers at 24 Sports. It's Zachariah J at gmail.com. Oops, maybe you didn't want me to.
I don't care.
It's up there. Anyway. And your Instagram is W0LVENN. What Wolven? Are you into Wolven? You're into Wolverines?
No, just wolves. Like
wolves.
Yeah, I got a little wolf right here that I keep. And actually, this picture right here, you can't really see it right now. I might have bring this to you. This was an adopted gray wolf, which was a gift. This was a gift from Jen.
Nice. Oh, nice, Jen.
Yeah, so everything tied together tonight.
That's great. Nice and a little bow. I love wolves. I follow the one of the organizations that posts regularly on all the social medias, Twitter and whatnot. And they show the pups in their den, and they'll just show them howling, and I'll play it for the cat. And she goes kind of crazy. It's cool. It's cool. I love wolves too. I had, just so you know, I had Scottish deerhounds. Are you familiar with deerhounds or wolfhounds?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wolfhounds. Yes.
Okay. Very similar breed. And so a lot of people, when I would walk around with them in public, would think they were wolves.
They're like very similar size. Like they are huge.
They're huge. They're huge. And their behavior is very not doggy, right? It's like a wild animal, real like it'd be like walking a deer, I tell people, because they're just deer-like. But anyway, off topic, but I think you'd appreciate wolfhounds. All right.
I do.
Okay, so you've been covering the Packers at 24/7 at 247 Sports, 24/7 Sports, and at Packer Report, which is part of. Explain.
Yeah. Packer Report is a 24/7 Sports channel, so it's like there's 24/7 Sports, which was originally purely a collegiate website. They just covered like the NCAA and like college football and stuff, but they branched out a while back and began doing Packer Report. But Packer Report specifically was also a newspaper publication back in like the 60s, which I think, I'm not sure what the connection was to Ray Nitschke, but there was something there. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head.
I thought I heard that he started it actually, didn't he? Is that true?
That might have been it. I know it was something involving him, but yeah. So Packer Report has been around for a long time.
Speaking of players who start things, Brady started that other social media platform that's all sports. Is it Audacity? Not Audacity. It's
Is it the Real app or whatever it is?
No, it starts with an A. Andy Herman's always talking about
Autograph. Is it Autograph?
Tom
Brady started that? Really?
Yeah, he's part of it. Yeah, he's part of it.
I didn't know that either. I saw Andy doing some stuff with them a while back, but I never actually looked into it.
I looked at it briefly. It looks very cool. It's like just so that it's all of what you want, like all your sports. So it's kind of like Packers Twitter, but without all the political stuff, So it's just sports, right? So it looks kind of cool.
That could become something useful in the future with Twitter in the hellhole. But
right.
Yeah, no doubt. It's hard to get everybody to go to like Blue Sky or any other platform specifically because like everything's on Twitter. But if that was the thing where we could all go, I'd be there.
Yeah, Matt, I meant to ask you if you had tried that out yet. It's pretty cool. I like it. And I do believe, I mean, Tom Brady is involved in all kinds of stuff, man. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere. It's true.
He's going to become the next Shaq where he just has his fingerprints on everything. You see him everywhere.
Okay, this is a little off topic, but okay, Zach, since you're a sports writer and you probably covered a lot of different, things that come up with players and retired players, but what do you think about the potential conflict with Brady and who does he work for? Is it Fox? Which one he does?
Fox. Yeah.
Fox, and being a part owner of the Raiders. What do you think about that?
I get it. I get why there are concerns, but I mean, I don't think it should be a problem until it becomes a problem, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think it's something people should really be concerned about until it's like it rears its head in and people start saying, okay, well, this is kind of weird. He shouldn't be commenting games while he's an owner of a team. I mean, I think it's bizarre that people just turn every single little thing into a problem when they have no reason to. It hasn't become a problem yet. So I think good for him. I mean, they knew there's been all kinds of talk and rumors about him potentially buying a stake in an NFL team or a minority ownership, whatever it is, with the Dolphins, with the Raiders. There was going to be something going on with him, and Fox still signed him to that crazy deal to have him commentate games, and everyone was fine with it at the time. So, I mean, whatever. And I get True North Packers fan has a point. Known cheater Tom Brady, but
right. Hi, True
North.
North.
Get a little weird,
right? Because he would have access to other teams like locker rooms or things that, and so. But they did write in a bunch of clauses that he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that. Certain just him announcing isn't. In fact, I think I heard him for the first time. I didn't even realize it was him until like 15 minutes in the other night, and I thought he did okay as an announcer. I mean,
okay, he does okay.
Yeah. There are some that I don't like, so I liked him a lot better than some of those whose names I won't mention.
Yeah, I thought when I first heard him for the first time, I think it was like a Cowboys game or whatever it was in the first week. He was kind of awkward sounding. Like he sounded like he was just out of his comfort zone, which I know over time he's gonna settle in. Sure. I'm not gonna. I think whatever Tom Brady does, he's probably gonna become really good at it.
Yes.
But at the time, like he's no, I don't know. I just didn't think he sounded right. I thought he sounded out of place. He just sounded very forced. He's not up there with with Greg Olson.
Right. I love him.
Yeah, he's good. He turned out to be really good. Or Tony Romo. Like former players going and becoming commentators doesn't always work out 100% of the time.
Right.
But we'll see with Brady.
Well, it's a skill that isn't like, sorry, Don, it's a skill that isn't baked into being a player by any stretch. It's a whole different skill set. And so he knows football. Like there's no doubt about that. But the ability to communicate that and like just keep talking and talking and talking for 3 hours also is like got to be incredibly difficult just to fill the space and always try to think of like a good take as you're going. So, to me, he sounds like he's just new at it is all it is. And he'll probably get good at it. But yeah, I was thinking like compared to like Greg Olson, exactly, whose job he basically took. I'm still kind of bummed about that. Greg Olson is still out there. Of course, he's still doing stuff. You still hear him calling games all the time, but he's so good at it.
I know. I liked him a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think he might be able to offer some interesting insight. But yeah, I mean, couldn't they have made room for? Couldn't they send somebody else away? Who's? Can I give some suggestions? Or no, I'm not allowed to do that.
Those guys aren't on Fox anymore, Don. So.
They're not on Fox.
No, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Were you gonna say Joe Buck and Troy Aikman?
I don't mind Joe Buck, but Troy Aikman, man.
Troy Aikman is brutal. I've started to kind of like grow less and less patient with him through the years. I used to not mind him, and I love Joe Buck. I never got the slander that he kind of gets from people. I
don't mind Joe Buck at all. Right.
Yeah,
I thought I didn't like Joe Buck for a long time, and then I realized it was like a reverse halo effect of being with that other goober. So I think that's kind of what was there. But I was like, wait a minute, Joe Buck's actually good. He's actually really good at this job. So.
So who do they have Joe Buck with Brady now? I don't even remember what I was listening.
No, they're on like still, Monday Night Football, right?
Yeah, he's still with Troy Aikman. They just do Monday Night Football now.
Okay.
instead of like a game of the week on Fox or something.
Oh, okay. Well, we should campaign for Greg Olsen. I guess it's too late for that. Yeah.
Which does remind me to say the Packers have the game of the week next week against the Lions, and since Tom Brady is on the A team, we'll probably have to listen to Tom Brady.
Oh, wow. Well, I usually listen to Wayne and Larry on the radio, and
as you should,
and mute the game people. Yeah.
Good call.
That's a good
call.
Although I didn't mute, I think it was Tony Romo last week, right? I didn't mute that. I listened to him.
Yeah. He's good.
It was okay. Yeah. I was just simplifying last week. So what did you think about last week's game? Are we just
I will say
scared?
That's about the Packers and Texans, right?
Yeah.
I will say from where they were a year ago, that is the exact type of game the Packers would lose last season when they would come back at the end and something would happen. Jordan Love would throw a pick or something would go wrong and they would lose within 3-4 points, but they came back, they showed resiliency, and it was a game they should have ran away with kind of early on, considering the opportunities they were getting and how well their defense was playing.
Yeah.
But it showed the growth from 2023 to now. Like they know they're finding ways to win. They know how to win now. This is a young team putting it together and they're growing together. And that was a perfect example of it. True.
It also showed some of the weaknesses that are really glaring. So where we need to go. Like it showed. So that's a good point. Cause I was like, so scared because there were so many opportunities that just sort of fell by the wayside, but it's what, week 8 now? Is it week 8 or week 7? I thought we're going into week
8.
Yeah. So it's time to tidy that up for sure. Yeah.
Well, and I think tightening up is the thing, Don, because for me, it was like the things they need to fix, like are fixable, it feels like, for the most part, except for maybe run defense. I don't know if that necessarily, but a lot of the stuff on offense, it's like, no, this is like totally fixable stuff. And even in a game where they're playing sloppy, 3 turnovers and the differential to win still against like a really good team. I mean, I would say like I'm very like excited. It made me really what's the word? I think heartened, for what where the team is at. 'Cause this always felt like it was going to be kind of a measuring stick game. So it's like, and they came out ahead, and it was close. It was a nail biter. It was exciting, and it was, I was yelling, both before the field goal and after for different emotional reasons, But
that was crazy.
Super fun game, though.
That was crazy, and I just was so ecstatic. I couldn't believe. I mean, I can believe it, but that the defense didn't allow Kyler Murray any touchdowns. Like he didn't have one touchdown the whole entire game, did he?
You're talking about CJ Stroud?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
You're thinking of the week before.
I know. I got them mixed up. Right. CJ. I guess I was talking about because they're both young. They're both young and kind of little and kind of low gravity.
Well, they're little guys.
Just little guys.
Well, because I would think both of them. You're right. I have them mixed up in my head. Both of them have like, what do they call it? A low gravity force.
Low center of gravity.
Yeah, it's harder to tackle, right? And I was thinking how difficult it would be to tackle either of them. And then CJ, I didn't realize just how, and I think I talked about it on our show last week and Matt laughed at me, but I thought he was more of a scrawny kid, but I remember him as being younger and skinnier, but he's like his legs and his glutes and everything are so well developed. And I was really wondering how they could ever sack that guy. But they did.
Yeah, he's good. He's gonna be one of the guys of the future that kind of the league is focused around. Like he's unreal, and the fact that Packers held him to 10 of 21 for 86 yards, no touchdowns, like that's
crazy.
One of the best quarterbacks in football, and they completely shut him down. Like
crazy. Yes.
I'm naturally an optimist, so I think the fact that the Packers played C+ level football against one of the best teams in football,
right?
Like they have so much more room to grow. It's incredible.
Well, tell us back to your totally got sidetracked there.
No, you don't want to talk about me. It's fine.
We do. Okay. Well, so tell us what is the best thing about writing for the Packers? You're probably a football lover. You're a Packers lover, right? You're a Packers fan. Mm-hmm. Were you always a Packers fan, or were you adopted?
Adopted. I mean, I as much as I would like to say I came out of the womb as a Packers fan, didn't work out that way. I became a fan when I would say, shoot, probably 4 or 5 years old. I want to say.
Okay, that's pretty young.
It's been a long time. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to hear the story or not.
Yes, we do.
Yes, okay, that's what we want.
So my mom was friends with a beat writer in the 90s named Tom Kesenick. He used to cover the Packers. He covered those 90s teams, the Super Bowl teams. And he co-wrote a book called Return to Glory. He sent her the book, signed it and everything, which I think actually I might... Oh, I don't have the book on me right now. But wait, do I? Wait. No, never mind. I don't...
Oh,
never
man,
mind. I don't have
the anticipation of it. Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. But he co-wrote a book called Return to Glory, and it was about the 1995 Packers, the year before they went to the Super Bowl and won it. And as a kid, I'm not reading this book. I don't know my ass from my elbow yet. I'm just looking at pictures. And there was a small section in that book where there were pictures. There was a picture of Robert Brooks, a picture of Keith Jackson, a picture of Reggie White, and for some reason, I was drawn to their sleeves. I loved their sleeves in the 90s, all the multiple stripes. They're different from how they are now. So I saw that and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And as a kid, you think that's the best thing ever. Growing up, I started reading that book more and more, learning about the team. And I had the 1996 Packers video yearbook on VHS. And I would watch it every single night. I would fall asleep to it every single night before school.
Wow.
And like I can tell you anything about that 96 team because of that movie. I can tell you they just beat the Buccaneers in week 1 and they picked off Trent Dilfer like 4 times. And I mean I can go on.
That's
and
amazing.
So that's kind of where my love for the Packers grew, because of those 90s teams and because of that book. So the rest was history.
Just like one random thing that happens and it sets you on this whole entire course for life, and you spend all your time writing about them, thinking about them, talking about them. Like that's amazing.
Because of some damn jersey sleeves.
Yeah.
Because of those, I want to see those sleeves. So I don't remember you telling us this in our. I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die. Go on the floor and die right now if you tell us that you told us this story already. Did you tell this to us last time? Please tell me no. Just say no. Just say no.
We don't want Don to die. Not like this.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I'll lie to your face if it keeps you from dying.
Maybe you did. Oh my God. But that's fantastic. So you wanted to become a writer like him, like your mom's friend.
Yeah, it was actually, I had a bunch of different fields I wanted to go into. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a football coach. I wanted to be a psychologist. But it was actually my mom that gave me that last push to kind of go into writing and, try to pursue something like that, because she knew I loved football and sports, and she knew English was one of my favorite subjects in school. I'm not going to say anything about I'm a great writer, but at the time I enjoyed writing. I'm not going to say I was good at it, but I enjoyed it. So she gave me that last push I needed and kind of snowballed me into that career.
Yeah. I'll say it, Zach. You're a really good writer. So there we go. Now it's in the air. Somebody said it.
Clearly.
There you go.
Is it because I just lied to Don's face, so now you feel like you got to lie to me? Is that it? I appreciate that.
How could I not
Thank
remember
you.
that story? Oh my God, we're all both old, Matt. We're both old. We're forgetting.
Maybe I didn't say it. Maybe I never got around to say.
I'm going to look up the episode, and I'm going to. I don't think we went on YouTube Live when you were, because we didn't do that until a couple years in.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe.
But I'll find the podcast. I'm going to look.
It's out there, I promise.
Your email made me go, "Oh, that looks familiar." It's Zachary. I was like, "That's so familiar. Why is Anywho, well, yay to mom, because that answers maybe not one of our great questions that we love to ask all of our guests is, who is it in your life that we can all thank for supporting you behind the scenes or in your life that we don't see, maybe, because you bring us so much to the Packers community with your writing. Who could we thank for that? Aside from Mom.
Okay, I was gonna say my mom.
Yeah. Oh,
she's given in all walks of life. She's kind of guided me and given me that push that I need to kind of pursue something. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had to pick someone, I mean, really someone in the community, like in the Packers community.
Oh.
It was just reading work from Jersey Al, who kind of really gave me, kind of got me into CheeseheadTV and gave me that first kind of like actual like gig covering the Packers. I'll never forget the day he DM'd me in May 2015. That was 2016 actually. Maybe I will forget. But yeah, Jersey Al. I've always found inspiration from Zach Cruz and how much he writes, how much work he does and puts in for Packers Wire. Yeah, those I would say those two guys are kind of like really my biggest influences.
It's not surprising to hear you say Jersey Al, because literally like easily more than half the people we talk to, when they talk about like how they kind of got started into it, who influenced them, who helped them early on, it always comes back to Jersey Al, inevitably.
He's like the godfather of Packers content creators. Like he really is. Everyone branched out from him and from CheeseheadTV. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
That's very cool. Now, are you a Wisconsin native or somewhere else?
I'm not. I was born and raised in California, in Southern California. I lived in Orange County pretty much all my life up until last year, where in March of last year, I moved to New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
All the way across the freaking country.
That is, that's a big change. Definitely. I lived in New England for 6 years, and I miss it a lot, actually. So, like, what took you to New Hampshire of all places?
My girlfriend.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
She was born and raised in New Hampshire. I've known her since 2010, since when I was 15. So we finally kind of laid out the groundwork to start a life together, and now here I am.
That's amazing.
Wow. So it's funny, I don't remember Orange County either, because I had a home in Orange County. I live in north part of San Diego County now.
What? Wait, yeah. You had a home in Orange County? You still do, or you had?
I not anymore. I moved back to Carlsbad. I was in Orange County for about 5 years, and Coto de Casa is where I lived and where my home was. But I worked in Newport. I worked for a couple companies, but mostly for Volcom.
Oh, I love Volcom. I got a Volcom beanie in my closet. Oh my god,
that's what kept me up there. That job, and then after that, I got a different job where I was like just traveling all the time. So I came back down to Carlsbad because I liked it better down here.
You said Newport?
They're in Newport.
I was literally born in Newport Beach.
Wow.
And I lived in Anaheim specifically.
Wow.
That is insane.
I'm like, are you sure you were on our show?
Maybe I'm just lying. Maybe I'm just gaslighting both of you.
That'd be hilarious to come on the show and just like do this whole like commit to this bit about it. That'd be
this whole bit.
I'm still believing you, man. I am. What do you think of New Hampshire though? What do you think of New England? I mean, like I said, I really miss it a lot. So like, what's kind of your take on it?
Oh, I love it. It's a nice change from the crazy LA traffic. It's much more calm, slower paced. I mean, fall right now, like it's like beautiful outside.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
The weather is unreal. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, I'm digging it. I had clam chowder for the first time a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Been missing out my whole life. But yeah, no, it's really nice here. It's beautiful.
Now in New Hampshire, in the part of New Hampshire that you're in, is it the red or the white clam chowder? Because there are two different kinds, and there's like a feud about that. Maybe I can't remember what part of the country eats the red and what part eats the white.
I want to say it was white. I mean, I'm not totally sure. My coworker's mother made it, and she found out I'd never had clam chowder, so she made a whole batch, gave me some. And yeah, she's great.
Sweet. I love that.
But I want to assume it was white because there was nothing red about it, so I don't know.
Yeah, you would know.
the red is like a Manhattan and even like Rhode Island thing more than anything versus like definitely like the sort of like what we would say like a ground zero for the clam chowder. People think of it as Boston, which is very much the white, and I think that's more prevalent throughout New England. In Connecticut, you wouldn't find any of that weird red clam chowder. It looks like illness. It's not good.
It's not as popular, but the people who are raised with it, they that's what they like.
Right.
That's like sports fandom. If you're raised with it, you just get attached to it and then you become like loyal, diehard to it. So
that's good connection.
Yeah.
it's like Bacamel or like an Alfredo versus a marinara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have room in my heart for both of those and for all pastas
same.
really in general. But.
Yeah, same. You're not gonna make me choose.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's neat. So you were so what was your mom a football fan?
She loves the Packers basically because I do.
Okay.
But she wasn't born in Wisconsin or anything. She was actually born in New York in Flushing, like the Queens area.
Okay.
So you would think if anything she'd be like a Giants or a Jets fan. Thank God she's neither of those. But yeah, she kind of just stuck with the Packers through the years, mostly just because I did.
That's so nice. Because out here in Orange County, there's like football isn't a big deal. There isn't an Orange County team.
Right.
So.
You mostly run into like over there, you'll run into like Rams fans and Chargers fans, Raiders fans, Cowboys fans for some reason.
Gross.
Yeah. I didn't understand that one.
No, I don't understand that one either. Have either of you been, again, off script, either of you been hate watching the Jets games or anything like that? Or maybe not hate watching?
I haven't been hate watching them because especially with Devontae on board now, I'm like, oh, let's see some fun like throws. It'll be like, old times. Might be kind of fun. But he just looks old, which is kind of unfortunate, but.
Yeah. Well, I'd say only reason I said hate watching because what they did to Salah, I didn't like that. Yeah.
No, I'll admit it. I've been hate watching. Absolutely.
I have.
Yeah, I had the worst experiences with Jets fans like during the whole saga last year. Like their fans are just repulsive. They're absolutely terrible.
They have no right to be that way because of their record.
I know.
Yeah.
And the fact the only times that they're relevant is when they're taking a former Packers quarterback.
Exactly.
Yep. That's the only time anyone gives. I don't know if I can cuss, but it's the only time anyone cares about them.
Right. So, yeah. So you expected some action between Rodgers and Devontae right off the bat, Maddie?
Yeah, I was hoping.
You did. Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen still. But yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers will still throw a couple nice throws a game, but he definitely just looks old out there. It's a little sad.
It is sad.
That comes to us all eventually, I guess, but
Yeah, it is sad. And then, so on that, how do you feel about this Salah addition to the Packers? I don't know, as a consultant, I'm not sure what exactly to call it.
Consultant, yeah. What do you think, Zach?
I'm all for it. I kind of had a feeling this would happen just because of his connections with Jeff Hafley and Matt LaFleur and how they've all just kind of been very tight knit for decades. He hasn't been officially hired yet, but we'll see in the future. Matt LaFleur said it's just going to be a kind of a fluid thing for the rest of the season. He left Green Bay today to go back home to his family, where he's going to spend more time with his family, while he kind of mulls over his future and whatnot. But hey, he was out there today wearing Packers gear at practice, so we'll see where that goes. I'm fine with it. I think it's awesome, providing doing the same thing that Aubrey Pleasant did. In 2022, providing that defensive perspective for the offense, which is great. Super smart.
I love that. So I imagine though that he would have to have like a contract not to share what he's learning, because like if he's not been hired, he's got to be held. He can't share any inside information if he goes to another team, right? He can't be consulting with a bunch of different teams, right?
I mean. Why not? I don't know what his contract was like or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, it's just the same thing with Brady. It's like, even as an announcer who's allowed to go into practices and stuff, that NFL is teams are pretty secretive about what they're doing. Yeah.
That's true.
It's just a thought. Just a thought.
No, that's a good question, because I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah.
You know, so you never know, because it's not a for sure certain thing that he's gonna be hired by the Packers in the future. You know,
right.
He could, next year he could wind up somewhere else. But I think the kind of the caveat there is that defenses and offenses, like on both sides of the ball, they change, they evolve, not just throughout the year, but like just year by year. You know, so things are going to change with what the Packers are doing right now, as opposed to what they do next year, next summer.
For sure.
So everything that Saleh learns right now with the Packers isn't necessarily going to be able to be applied next year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
For me, I was just like, Saleh's in a Packers hoodie. This is cool.
It was so great just seeing it.
That's the extent of my reaction to it, basically. I mean, I like that they're like, he's not going to do anything with the defense. Hafley's not in any sort of danger. Just before anyone even really said anything about it, just like they kind of got out ahead of it, tamped it down. I liked that. Because Hafley's killing it.
My friend Carlita in the chat showing support. She's a 49ers fan. Don't hold that against her. We love Carlita. I have another friend who's a 49ers fan in my building here. So when the Packers play the 49ers, that's going to be funny, I think, because he's going to probably try to mess with me a little bit. I'm watching that game alone. A bunch of us are going to watch a football game together, I think, but I don't think it's going to be a Packers game because I need to focus. I need to have all my energy. But and this is kind of what I was thinking too. Like NFL from True North Packers fan, NFL teams do sign practice squad guys just for intel on other teams, right? So they can go. I mean, but they hire, like they have them under some sort of contract. I'm sure they must be paying. I don't know. They just trust him, I mean, he does seem like a stand-up kind of guy, but I wouldn't. It's business, man. I wouldn't.
That's damn, you're ruthless.
I am when it comes to that. Yeah. When it comes to business. Well, you have to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
That the margin for error is too thin for you not to be, all
100%.
about business.
Right. And for the most part, something that high level, you wouldn't just. Was curious about it. You know who I can ask? We can ask the podcast. Why can't I think of their name? Conduct Detrimental, the lawyers who cover NFL law.
Oh yeah, they would know more about this than we do. That's for sure.
I haven't checked that out. Would you recommend it?
Oh, I would highly recommend it. Yeah, they're good. It's really interesting. I like law, and I like obviously football. So, but they cover other sports law as well. But yeah, I really like them. They're cool. They have some Twitter presence too. Yeah.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
True North Packers fan, for those who are listening instead of watching, True North Packers fan contributed in the chat. The first rule of Fight Club is we do not talk about Fight Club. Dawn. Quote attributed to Dawn.
Okay. And our final question for all of our guests. We love this question. We love the answers, really. Question. We love to ask, it's kind of a two-parter. What is it that you love about Packers Twitter? And what is it that you would change if you had the power to change it?
I think what I love the most about Packers Twitter is I just think it's great that not that everyone kind of feels like a family, but it's just everybody kind of knows each other. You know what I mean? Like everyone's connected in some way. Everyone got their start in a certain way. Everyone ended up here where they are in a certain way. And like the people that are pursuing like writing jobs or just covering the team, whether it's through media or through print, whatever it is, throughout the years, like I've been on Packers Twitter since like 2015. So I've seen these people, everyone kind of grow together and I've seen everybody progress. Like I said, if they're pursuing a career covering this team or just covering the NFL in general, throughout the years, you've seen people kind of progress. You know, you've seen Zach Cruz get started at the Packers writer and getting promoted at the Packers writer with USA Today. You've seen Sam, her I don't know her last name, but her handle is Sandwich. She's
no, no,
she's
so
funny.
Samuel Hamuel.
Really so funny.
Yeah, Samuel Hamuel.
And she, she has a writing gig now with Acme Packing Company. Justice Mosqueda being such a reliable source of information. Like I've learned things from him that I haven't even considered thinking about. Like he covers the Packers through so many different angles. Yeah, he is, and just watching people get to this point and this vast knowledge that they've collected through the years about the Packers and just about things that go into the Packers and how the Packers operate. Like especially, definitely Jen, and especially during draft time. Like that is when some of these people like kick into high gear and they're able to come up with a short list of prospects that the Packers might draft based off of measurables and based off of the Brian Gutekunst's tendencies, like what he goes for. It's like, it's incredible. Like the work that goes into some of these things. So I think that has been my favorite thing is just through the years, watching people progress and watching people grow. Like I said, it's been, I know I said it's not really a family, but it's kind of loosely is, and we've all kind of grown up together, and I think there's something beautiful about that. Yeah. Now, your second question,
what would you change if you wanted to change something? Yeah,
I would say just more people kind of not showing themselves off, but showing kind of other people off. You know, like putting out more of the work that their peers have created, that they've written, which. Just kind of lifting each other up a little more. You know what I mean? Because people love, and I get it. This is a competitive industry, journalism and sports writing, and especially covering the Packers. Everybody wants to be the top dog. Everybody wants to be like the one. Everybody wants to be, they want to be the best. But I don't think it should be that way. I think in a way we should all kind of uplift each other and, publicize some of the work that their peers are doing, because so many of our peers are doing excellent work, and I think that's a great thing for your guys' show. That's why your guys' show is so special, because you highlight these things, you highlight these people that are doing certain things that probably don't get a lot of pub online or a lot of kind of praise when they should. Wendell, for example, like he does an incredible job covering the Packers, and he isn't really like talked about among someone like the big dogs on Packers Twitter. And I think that's ridiculous.
Right.
There are no big dogs. We're all doing the same thing.
We're all dogs.
Yeah. We're all dogs. And we all do this. We all came from the same tree. We all cover the same team. And we all love what we do. So, again, circling back to your guys' show, that's why I think it's such a great thing, because certain people need to be talked about more. So that's one thing I would change. Just kind of uplifting your peers just a lot more.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the kind words. It's so fascinating to dawn on me, because everybody gives a different answer to these questions. And like we've asked, I don't know, we probably had roughly 100 people on the show at this point, and it's always different. And the one that you started with there, that concept of like the people growing together, like, you're saying like kind of family. I think the word I always use is like community, like I'm closer with the people on Packers Twitter now than the people who live in my neighborhood, just because it's got such that wonderful feeling of community within it. Yeah. And that idea of like seeing people grow together, that is beautiful. I love that.
So it's a great answer. That's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's true though, in general, I think that people are less likely on any social media to like to click that shit, not just to click a like button. Like, how hard is that, right? If you like something, instead of just reading it and moving on, but actually comment or ask a question or hit the like button, but to share other people's work. It's why is that such a hard concept? And I think that when social media started being social, people were doing that more, don't you think? And now it's like you can barely get anyone to say anything. I don't know if they're afraid because they've been beaten down. Because there's always somebody out out there putting you down. But for the most part, I find whether it's YouTube or Twitter or whatever, that there's more positive than there is negative people or comments.
And I do want to say too, like that also applies to me. Like I need to do a better job as well of putting other people's work out there and sharing from other people. Like I am by no means am I perfect at that. So it's something I need to do as well. You know, I think just widespread, we could all just be kinder to each other, I guess.
Yeah.
Zach, you can be the change you want to see in the world, and people can take from your example. And I think, you know, we can all be better than that. That's lovely.
We'll see.
And Carla says, on your observation there, you are all part of the Packers. We're part of the pack. I love that. And hi to Lorenzo.
Ties into the wolf conversation we were having earlier.
That's right.
It all comes together.
Yep.
Wolves, dogs, cats, Packers.
I barked 49ers. For you guys.
That's right. So. Highlight of my week, by the way.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right, Zach. Well, hey, thank you for all of that. We really appreciate you coming on. And now, did you bring superlatives tonight, or are you going to bug off? Because it's like 10:30 your time, isn't it? It's up to you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes and yes. So thank you for coming back on again. The second time. I'm going to look that up. Right after this.
You're going to find me.
You have this thing. We're gonna find him.
It's Zachary. Earlier, I was like, why is that so? So part of the problem with that is your profile picture isn't your picture, right?
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
a few years ago during the pandemic, or actually it was before the pandemic, I changed to that. Everyone calls it the blue dog, even though it's his name's Dodger from that movie Oliver and Company. It came out in like the 90s. Loved that movie growing up. But everyone just calls it the blue dog, and because it became a thing, because when I changed to that picture, good things happened. I think I started doing that during. I started doing that. I think before the Packers played an important game one day.
Oh.
And they ended up winning. And then one day I did it again before. It was after the Packers lost to the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game, and it was during the whole like, oh my God, is Rodgers coming back saga? Yeah,
I'm so glad that's over.
No kidding. But I did that, and it brought good luck, which we thought was good luck at the time. He came back, so it's kind of just become.
Get that dog off there, man! Get that dog.
There's also the red dog, though. I think you have to mention the red dog though in this discussion as well.
Yeah, so the red dog was someone made it for me. They made a green background and they made a red background, and I changed to the red one when basically I just wanted to cause some problems.
And it works too.
It did. When I did that, bad things happened. Like I have weird juju, a voodoo power with that dog picture. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Bad things happen. That's part of the quote that we have every night on our on
the outro.
Matt LaFleur. When everyone doesn't play their role, bad things happen. That's right.
He has a couple quotes he loves going back to every single presser.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
His own specific idioms that he uses. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm super duper looking in all the I'm looking for all these episodes to look for your name. There's not a search.
You can look later. Dawn, look later.
I can't help it. I wanted to.
Zach, do you need to head out right now?
Yes. So Zach's gonna
more than likely. Yeah. I probably should bounce out.
Then before you do, of course, tell the folks where they can find all your work.
Well, I'm looking for.
He's looking for the.
I'm looking for it as well.
We can find his work at Packer Report on 24/7 Sport, and we know what his Twitter is, right? Twitter is at
ZACOBSON.
I was waiting for Matt. Jacobson. I put it in for Matt. That's okay. At Jacobson.
Passing it to me. I fumbled it. Sorry.
It's okay. ZACOBSON. That's right. Did you find it? Okay, we'll find it later. We'll find it later.
That's right. But thanks so much, Zach. Thanks for being here. This is really great talking to you.
No, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to doing it again. Hopefully.
That's right.
I hope so too. All right.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
All
Enjoy
right,
those fall colors. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks. Maddie.
So I do have some superlatives, Dawn. I think you said that you don't have any this week. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Well, I'll kind of go through them kind of quickly because I know we both want to get to watch the rest of this Vikings game.
Right.
And so here we go. Kind of a little bit
the Rams
rapid
game
fire here. All right. First one, best recap. So we've talked before how, like, you know, after every game, there's a bunch of different kinds of recaps, whether, you know, podcasts, written videos, whatever else. And one that I've been checking out every week and really been enjoying, but we haven't mentioned yet are speaking of Sandwich, the ones that she does for Acme Packing Company. And in particular, this one, I had to mention this week because, you know, her column was like Packers week blank, week 7 in this case, winners and losers versus the, you know, her team it was. And so she'll be like, you know, winner, this person. So like this last one, for example, winner, Josh Jacobs. And there's like a, you know, paragraph about it. Loser, Jaden Reed. Winner, Romeo Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks. Loser, special teams. And this was all great. And then, but the thing that got me this week was the next one was like Brett Favre, Jordan Love. Like that was like the category, not like, you know, winner.
Right.
The category. Brett Favre, Jordan Love. And I literally I cackled. It was a very loud laugh when I came across that part. Sam's hilarious.
She is.
We love her so much. And so, yeah, huge shout out to Sam for that one and for the work she does every week on those recaps. They're fantastic.
Let's just hope Matt LaFleur didn't see that, though, because he does not like those comparisons.
He does not like those comparisons. Second one was best tweet. So one of the sort of funny things on social media and in the Packers sphere this week, kind of midweek, I don't know if you saw it, Don, because I know you're kind of like busy this week.
I did.
Jair said in a presser, you know, just like locker room availability, that his celebration is not a seatbelt, it's a sword. And this had been a divisive thing for a long time. And so for him to like clarify, oh yes, the celebration that I do, that the rest of the defense is taking on, you see like college teams doing, you see that kind of spinning around, all this has been a sword, which to me, I was surprised. But then I was like, well, why did I think it was a seatbelt? I blame Dan Kotnick because he told me that. So, but you know, common misconception. So there was this whole thing this week, right, with people kind of reacting to that, and you know, a lot of people saying, no, he's wrong. What does he know? Well, he invented it, so that he does.
I would think he'd know.
You know, reliable source, you think? So, anyhow, amidst all of this, Tyler Herrick, who's amazing,
of course, yes,
he put up a tweet. You know that meme from a few years back of like the purple and black dress, or is it, you know, white and gold,
right?
It's sort of like weird, you know, it's almost like a weird optical illusion, and that was a divisive thing too. So he put up just that picture with, is this a seatbelt or a sword? And that was a tweet. Concise, hilarious, brilliant.
Loved it.
And so
Go
that's
Tyler.
the second one.
We love Tyler.
Tyler's so great. Just one of the best dudes. And then the third one, best article. So we talk about him a lot on here. Bill Huber, such a good writer. This was a good one. It was a newcomer becomes unsung hero of Packers victory over Texans. You're like, unsung hero? Like, we know who all the people are. Like, oh, is it going to be Eric Wilson? Is that the unsung hero? No, it's not Eric Wilson. You're like, okay, is it going to be like, Evan Williams, like the newcomer who's like coming on strong? Is going to be him? And it's like, no, it's not him either. Who's Bill talking about? And you know who he's talking about? He's talking about Chris Brooks.
Who?
Exactly, Don. I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Bill, what are we talking
Clearly
about?
unsung. Okay.
Exactly. Like actually literally unsung. Chris Brooks is a running back that we signed a while back. I think he was a veteran. I have to check my facts on that. Who has played just a few snaps for us, you know?
Okay.
But the reason why he's an unsung hero is because he was like really involved in the pass protection on the last drive, you know, where we got down close enough to actually be able to kick the field goal. And so if you look carefully, like how the, you know, the passing attack was coming at us, the pass defense was coming at us from the Texans, some of those guys would have gotten home and hit Jordan Love for a sack, most likely, or at least messed up like the throw he was trying to do with the pressure, if not for the stalwart work that Chris Brooks was doing there on the line in pass protection. And like, I had no idea. But then the way he describes it, yeah, exactly. So like, I'd love to go back and like actually watch that last series, maybe like on the condensed replay or whatever. Actually watch for Chris Brooks to do this kind of stuff. But this is such a great example of like, you know, Bill's really good at this, but like anytime somebody finds like a detail that nobody else is really seeing and like can kind of explain it in a way that's like interesting and informative, like That's catnip.
We eat it up. We eat that up. Yeah, we love that.
So, what a great article. You're not going to see that take anywhere else. You know what I mean?
That's fantastic, Bill.
Really nice,
and I'm just going to tell you, Chris Brooks grew up right near here.
Really?
Yes. Oceanside, which is the city just north before getting to Orange County and then LA. And I mean, I could walk to Oceanside if I wanted to. Yeah. And he played for the Miami Dolphins before that. And they thought he was, I just noticed a few little articles about him. They said he's a sleeper. Keep your eyes on this sleeper. Well, he's been traded to Green Bay. So right on, Chris. Right on, Bill.
Played with the Dolphins. That's what it was. Glad you caught that. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Love it. Thank you, Maddie. Do you have the score of the game yet? Like, are you keeping track?
No, I had turned my phone off. If you just riff for a second, I can tell you where we're at. So,
all right. Well, we're going to say one more time, thank you so much to Zachary for coming on the show. It was a delight as always. And I'm jealous that he's in New Hampshire during the fall college
season.
You know what? My sister is going to the Packers game in Jacksonville on Sunday. Oh, here's the score. Vikings 20, Rams 21. Wow, it's still close. We need to watch the end. It's going to be a good ending, I bet.
Yeah, if no one's got me, I know that True North Packers fans got me. That's right.
Thank you, True North. And thank you, Carla. And thank you, Lorenzo. Iowa Joe, I know he's at work. Shout out to Iowa, Janelle, all the folks in the chat. Love it.
Yeah, and Janelle, if you're still listening, hit us up. We want to have you on the show for sure.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show, Janelle. Tried to message you, but I don't have one of those accounts where I can message you. So sorry about that. All right, Maddie, let's bring her home.
Yeah, absolutely. So just real fast as I get to the part of the show, Doc, that has that. Again, thanks, Zach. It was super awesome having you on here, man. We've been reading his stuff forever. I've been following him on Twitter since I got onto Packers Twitter, and he's one of the best. So, friends, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your friends and family.
Yeah, just like Zach said, share it.
That's right.
Just like Zach said. And yes, Maddie, that's right, because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod, and we look forward to seeing you next week on
Hey, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.